So now I'm going to be um, talking about the second half. Um, like I didn't think about it until later on, like earlier today when I was taking notes, that the second half, when it started to get really bad, um, if you look back, Ed started YouTube, like doing videos, I guess you'd say. I think he said December 17th. Um, our dog passed away December 13th. And he was 12, and so I didn't really think about it till today, and I thought maybe that's part of the reason things got as bad as they did. And this part here, if you watch, well, like the all of 2017 and 2018, I was drunk. 2019, he was sober until, like, he had a couple of drinks in December, but so you will probably kind of know what I'm talking about. But so yeah, our dog had passed, and then Ed 4 days later started making YouTube videos, and the drinking, like, I'm just looking at my notes, and there's just so much that had happened, and I don't know. We'll start this off. I'm just looking at the notes here because this is what had happened. That Christmas, okay, that Christmas Eve, Ed was drinking beer, he was drinking whiskey, and what happened was I stayed up for so long with him, and I want to say, I don't know, maybe it was like 10 minutes. Like, I was just in bed. I was just like, when you just start to go to sleep. And I hear water coming out, like, I'm telling you, like a waterfall. And so I jump out of bed. And as soon as I got to the hallway, the amount of water that was in the hallway, it was going down the stairs. And I just like, and you know what? And I'm drunk-ish. And I see it's coming out of the bathroom, and I don't fucking know why. So I go into the bathroom, and Ed is standing on a bath mat that is soaked because there was that much water. And the toilet is laying on its side. And where the water hose thing connect, I don't know, whatever, that's where all the water is coming from. So I had to, like, I looked at him and I said, "What are you doing?" And he says, "What do you mean, what am I doing?" So I lifted up the toilet, got that upright, shut off the water, and he's standing on the bath mat like, like it's a rat, like a raft, like he's saved from the water. His socks are soaking fucking wet. And I ask him again, and meanwhile I'm grabbing fucking all the towels I can find, right? I said, what are you doing, Ed? Like, because I was mad, because I was like, why are you just fucking standing there? And he says, what do you mean? And I said, how the fuck did the toilet get on the side? Like, I don't know, he says. And I'm like, okay, like, how did it get on the side, Ed? And then Ed tells me it happened when he flushed it. And I said to him, you're telling me you flushed the toilet and there was that much force that it just pushed over on the side? And he said, yeah. Which made it that much worse. And he wouldn't get off the fucking mat for the life of him. And, you know, I said, like, I'm going to have to call the landlord. And he's asking me why and just call in the morning. And I said, no, like, and he's, you know, and I asked him again, I asked him a couple more times, how the fuck did the toilet get on the side, Ed? Like, what happened? And he just keeps telling me all he did was flush it and the fucking toilet just landed on its side. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to call a landlord. And this is like, I don't know, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning on Christmas morning of that year. And, no, okay, so then I said to him, go to bed. And he's like, you know, I don't need to go to bed. I'm not even tired. And I said, just go in there. I got to call the landlord. Like, we need a working toilet. So he comes into the bedroom here and he sits down on the bed. And 30 seconds later, I hear him just fucking snoring, right? So I'm like, okay, like, fuck, good. He's in bed. The maintenance guy comes, and I just decided to start washing the towels because I'd used them all to soak up all the water. And so I was doing that, and Ed was sleeping. I shut the bedroom door before the maintenance guy came. So I'm sitting, the maintenance guy is up here. I'm on the love seat downstairs. Ed is sleeping. Justin is sleeping. And I kind of creak up the stairs. It must be around 4:30-ish. Because the maintenance guy's not telling me anything. And I see the toilet right off. The guy I guess he had to take it off and fix whatever. And I went back downstairs, and I can't say never, but I'm telling you, I was praying for Ed not to wake up, because I knew that he wouldn't remember anything, and he would have woke up to some guy on his knees in the bathroom fixing the toilet. And I was thinking, if he sees that, he's just gonna fucking hit this guy, right? So I'm like, thank God he didn't wake up. But that had happened. And then all he told me, he doesn't know how, to this day, he doesn't know how the toilet got on its side. He remembers laying in the bathtub, trying to get up, because he heard water coming from, and he noticed the toilet was on its side. So I'm not really sure why, but yeah, that was the starting of it. And then let me see. This is where the drinking actually started to become from 3 to 1 in the afternoon, and sometimes it would be 12, you know. And the amount of beer he was drinking. And, you know, I had said, like, maybe, you know, maybe you should not drink so much, like, because he was just getting, I knew it wasn't good for him. And, you know, when you love somebody, you just, you know, I didn't know what to do for him. So, um, so he did try. He said, you know, I'll only drink Friday and Saturday, and then start the week off Sundays, and won't drink again till Friday, Saturday. So that was like, okay. And Friday, Saturday turned into Sunday too. And this is the only time it happened. So Friday and Saturday drank. Saturday turned into Sunday. Took a break Monday and was back drinking again Tuesday. So that just didn't work. He would he tells me he remembers, you know, coming out of the bedroom, going to the bathroom, and seeing the kids or whatever, and he'd be fucking completely naked, I guess, and he'd say, "Fuck you looking at," and just keep on fucking walking. I didn't know about that part until recently. And the beers, when I had said it went from 12 beers to two tall boys, it was now at 18 beers and then some. And he would, like, I don't know. He was starting to act like really weird. Hang on, I just have to check the time on this. Okay, we're still good. Like, he wasn't remembering, and not just blacking, well, I guess blacking out, but like we would be doing, like, there'd be times we'd be doing stuff, and like it was like, you know, a snap of the finger, and he'd be like, he wasn't sure what we were doing. He didn't know why I should move this up a bit. Why we were where we were. Like, and I'd be looking at him like, are you, like, you gotta be kidding me, because, like, no, he would be dead serious. He wouldn't remember. He didn't know what was happening. It was, so stuff like that started to happen. I'm just looking here. He was still drinking in the bathroom. If you go back, you'll see him drinking in the bathroom. He would sometimes, well, not sometimes, it got to the point where, like, there'd be good majority of the week, Ed would be drinking till 4 or 5 in the morning and come to bed and be back up at 7, still fucking drunk, and, you know, just carry on like you regularly would, but I knew he was drunk. And that's why when it got to that point that it was like, because I would, you know, you go to the bathroom and you look over and you see, and you're wondering, why is that can of beer there? And he had opened it, and he must have just forgotten about it while he was drinking, or I don't know what. And I would always when he started to be drinking like that, I would just dump the fucking beer because I knew he would drink it, 7 o'clock in the morning. I knew this. So it was just easier for me to dump it out on him. A lot of times he'd stand in the hallway and there's a light switch out there, and he would just flick it, just back and forth, just flick, 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 like, and I would look right at him and I'd say, like, what are you doing? Like, and he'd just look at me and he would just start flicking the light switch, and that started to get a little bit worrisome. His hygiene, like, sometimes shower day was like 3 days, later, which, but there'd be times, honestly, that, like, I would, you change the sheets on your bed and whatever. And, I get up and use the bathroom and notice, like, what the fuck is his underwear doing in the basket? And then realize that Ed's naked. He's in bed naked. And honestly, the first thing I thought of was like, my God, you fucking, like, you haven't showered for 3 fucking days. And then secondly was like, if you're in here naked, you are walking around the house naked again. Like, what the fuck is going on? So, like, that shit happened. And, like, I can tell you, my ears were trained because he had pissed enough times that I've caught him that my ears were trained. Like, when I can be in a dead sleep, and if Ed was getting up, my brain was like, get up, and I'd say, what are you doing, Ed? And he'd say, going to the bathroom, and I'd say, okay, make sure, like, because the door was always shut, so I'd make sure you get out there. But there was like this one time I went out to the hallway, and it's like, what the, like, why is there little wet spots here? And then I realized Ed had pissed down the stairs, so, that kind of stuff had pissed me off. But I don't know. He would also, I would wake up and he'd be going through his drawers, like, and I'd say, what are you doing? And he would look at me like it wasn't him. And that's honest to God how I felt, because he just continued on, and then he'd say nothing and then just come to bed. And yeah, like, that's, I think when somebody gets to that point, it's very scary. Maybe not for them, but from the person on the other side. He had told me, he had asked if anybody had heard one night, and I guess his thumb, I guess he came out of, like, being blacked out, and he was, like, slamming his hand down on the counter to the point, I think he broke his thumb, but, like, it was horrible. It was, and I didn't hear that. There was one time I'd woken up and he was standing right over here, like, and he was just gasping for air. He was standing there and he was just like, like, and I'm asking him, do you want me to do something? And he's just gasping. He's like, and so I'm looking at him like, fuck, like, if you're the way he was gasping is like, a regular person would have fallen down. They would have, collapsed, and he was still like gasping. And I'm like, what did you want me? What do you call me now? Like, do you want me to call 911? What do you want me like? And he's just like, and then he let out this god awful. I'll never forget it. It was like he was gasping like, ugh, and then it was like a really loud fucking noise, and then he took like a and he looked at me like there was like nothing had happened, like that never happens. Also, there was one time he was drinking, he started drinking in the afternoon, and he was sweating. He started to sweat really bad, and he got the chills, and the way he was acting, I fucking thought like, oh, he's got the flu or something. Like he had 2-3 blankets on him, and he fell asleep, and I thought, okay, well, I like, maybe it's a good thing he's not drinking. And he slept for a few hours, and he woke up, and it was like nothing happened, and he fucking started down on the beers again. So he was writing, so there was snow outside, and you would think, like, I would have thought that this would have made him stop, but he's told me he was writing his name in the snow when he was pissing outside. And there was blood in it. And when he first told me whatever, like, I said, well, you need to go to the doctor, and he didn't want to go, and I guess it'd gotten worse, and finally I got him to go to the hospital. And they did, like, a couple images or whatever, and it came back, and he said, I don't know, but the doctor could tell he was overweight from drinking and the foods he was eating and stuff. So all the deli meat sandwiches, and it was just, so he ended up coming home, and what happened was he was going to the bathroom, right, and a stone came out, so he had a kidney stone, which was causing that. And no, he still continued to drink. I gotta just check the time. Okay. And then I gotta look at these notes here. I know he was live streaming one night with people, or at least one person. Justin was with him, and Ed, I should move this here, actually rolled up a joint in like paper like this, I guess, and tried to smoke it. He was showing our son Justin how to do elbow drops in the living room. I heard none of this. There was an incident with Apple. This is all in the same little span here, on the same night. Then there was something with apples, and Ed started throwing apples at Justin, and the apples, some of them, hit the vents. Because I remember cleaning the vents the next day. They weren't too bad, but all that kind of stuff happened. And then the same thing was still happening with the bruises. I would always be asking him, where did you get, because it looked like a bruise that you would remember, and he would never remember that. And then it was like Ed got angry, and not angry as in, I am telling you, honest to God, it was like, it got to the point that be sitting there watching TV or whatever, right? Everything's fine, and then, like, in a snap of a finger, he would look over to say something to me, and I am telling you, like, his eyes would be so, they look like, just, they look black, and I just knew that whatever was happening, this wasn't Ed. And it wasn't like we were having a conversation or watching TV. This never, it's like that never even happened. And he would just go into like stuff that pissed him off, and then from there it would lead him to be like, not even like, he would actually forget how to, use the remote on the TV or something with the tablet and his YouTube. It was like it wasn't it was very scary, and it continued. And I would ask him, like, Ed, can you stop drinking? And I don't know what was going on. I don't know, but I do know that I have never seen anybody look like that. I don't know. I mean, if you believe in like the demons and stuff like that and whatever, you know what? That's it's scary stuff. It's scarier that like it was not a big deal and he wouldn't remember, and it was just like this pattern that was only getting worse. And Christmas of December 2018, that night I drank, and I woke up in the morning and he was in bed, but I think he was in bed. I'm not sure. Anyways, I think so. And I went downstairs and I noticed his sandals were at the bottom of the stairs, and I went into the basement, and one side was a ripped shirt, and his pants that he had on, they were full of, I'm going to say, they were full of piss. And on the other side, there was his underwear that was full of piss. And then it clicked in. I was thinking, like, fuck, the fuck was he doing with the sandals on, walking around the house fucking naked? And Ed had said to me that he was downstairs in the dark with his Bible, and that's when he came to, and he was reading passages out of the Bible. And that had started. He had quit drinking. He quit cold turkey, just like that. Thank the Lord. Mind you, getting off drinking was horrible. Like, he was moody, and he was like sweating, and he couldn't sleep for a while. But the YouTube videos got a lot better, and that's when he, finally, after all those symptoms and stuff passed away, he what was I gonna say? Yeah, he just got better at the YouTube videos. But when somebody quits like that, you just don't give up on somebody. You just don't walk away from somebody, and you know what? They go away. Like, he's fine now. And there'd be times that, and I'm going to tell you this now because I'm going to say something later on, but taking a shower, Ed would be in the shower 2 hours. There'd be times he'd take a 2-hour shower, shut off the taps, and you know what? Decide to turn back on, and he would be in there for another half an hour. There'd be times that, he didn't want to touch the bathroom flooring, and it was just nuts. So when all of this, so then he went through 2019 sober. Then the end of November came, and he said, we decided, yeah, okay, you can have a couple drinks, like, yeah, that's fine. So it started, and it was only supposed to be for Christmas, but it went right through the whole month of December, which was, he's fine now, but Christmas, no, not Christmas, New Year's Eve, I'm going to show you a clip of what I caught him doing. So watch the clip, and then we'll be back. Okay, now that's what I caught him doing. And I don't know what happened next. I don't know what the hell was going on. I don't know how he knew where I was, because there's a wall between the kitchen and the dining room and the living room. You can't see. So I'm going to show you another clip, what had happened, and it was a little bit freaky. I don't know. Music went off, and this happened.
Woo! Hey.
Okay, so I don't know how he knew I was there. I don't know how the music got off so fast. I really don't know what that was about, but that, when that happens, you just, I don't know, you start to worry, like, God, I don't want him to start drinking again. And he didn't. But you, so anyways, before I continue on, I had to bring something up here quickly. What? Oh, yes. Okay, so I don't know if it was right before Christmas or right before New Year's, one of them. I woke up to the sound of the toilet flushing and flushing and flushing. So where my side of the bed is, if I sit up enough, I can actually see diagonal into the bathroom, sort of. And there was Ed, and he was just ripping pieces of toilet paper off and, like, rip it, flush it. So, I had asked him what he was doing, and he said nothing, and back into bed he came. And the next day, I was making sure that there was nothing else that we needed, like grocery store wise. Like, there's enough toilet paper, there's enough whatever. So, and I know this because in that morning I counted 6 rolls of toilet paper in the bag. And there was 2 inside. I have like a little holder thing. There was still 6 rolls that night. I know this because I went to bed and I looked over and I made sure that, and there was still 6 rolls of toilet paper in there. I get up the next morning. There's no rolls of toilet paper at all. So I fucking asked Ed. I said, like, what'd you do with the toilet paper? And he doesn't know what I'm talking about. What do you mean? And so the only thing I can think of, and he said, like, I think the toilet was clogged or something, but something like that. He doesn't remember doing anything. My thing is, I think he went through 6 rolls of whole toilet paper, ripping it off and flushing it, and I don't know why he does that. It's not even like it's him. Like, it's, I can't even, like, explain that. It's scary. It's why he doesn't remember, I don't know. I really don't. So, and we had already discussed New Year's Day there was no drinking. So when he had said in the video, we made sure there was no alcohol in the house whatsoever. And then Ed explained something to me that night that I did not know, but which makes sense now. And it's, I couldn't imagine him going through that, but he explained to me that when he had stopped drinking, he's seen bugs on his skin, and which explains the showering, because he said it was worse. That was the worst because when he was done, it's your mind, right? Like, it's whatever's going on with your mind. And he had explained to me about these bugs, and he said they kind of look like those potato bugs or whatever they are, but I couldn't. And that explains why he was taking 2-hour showers, and he didn't, like, that's why he washes his hands so much. And that's why, if he always felt dirty for a while, like a good couple months. He was always like, and he'd be saying, asking me, don't I feel dirty? And I'm like, no, like, what? So, that's pretty sad to me, that it had gone that far, and this was going on. And I asked him, I said, like, were they only there when you quit drinking? And he said, no, they just got worse. He said, when you're drinking, they're there, but you're not worried about them. And fuck, it's that's just sad. So it was like 7 years. Like, I started off, the beginning was not too bad, and then the last 2 were right fuck out of this world. And I just wanted to tell you guys about that. And he has control over it. I could say that now. He has no problem, like, saying no, or, if he didn't, then he would have been still drinking right into January, and that's not the case. But I can just really say that he's just been working really hard on the YouTube stuff, which is great, because when he first started off, you could just tell, like, compared to, like, now. So alcohol's really it's really fucked up thing that it does to people, especially people that you love and you care about. And it happens, for me, it was like how the fuck did that happen to Ed? Like, how? And I want to also say, when I said he wasn't there, it was like he wasn't there. I can say this: I had drank with Ed a little bit. Well, I drank on New Year's Eve with him, and I am telling you, if there's something evil, or if it's like a type of demon, they say, or whatever the fuck it is, I'm telling you, it wasn't because Ed was way more drunk than I was, but I was sober enough to, I was laying here, I remember everything. And everything was off, and the doors were locked, and it was like somebody kind of ran through the house, like little steps, right? And I had said to Ed, do you hear that? And he said, yeah. He said, don't worry, the doors are locked. And I said, oh, and then I thought, is this something to do with with the drinking. I don't know, but it's really this shit that I've seen happen is just messed. It's I don't know how to explain it. I really don't. No, I don't. I don't know, but that's my story of living with an alcoholic for 7 years. I want to say I hope you liked it, but I don't know if that's the right thing to say with this. Yeah, I don't just want to say it. So, anyways, that's it. That's all. Bye.